former teacher and occasional substitute teacher. And as you have been talking here, we basically, other than the one reference made by Secretary Duncan to our atrocious dropout rate, school systems in the United States have been failing. And we all know that. The dropout rate is just one indication of that. And the 800-pound gorilla in the room that you're unwilling to talk about is the fact that the one area of success has been charter schools. Mr. Griswold alluded to that. He's trying to tell you very subtly, hey, don't cancel charter schools like you did in Washington, D.C., Secretary. And the other thing is, why are these schools doing better than the regular schools? Because the 800-pound gorilla, the unions, don't have as much control in those schools. And I'm not talking about the teachers that I work with. They're basically very decent people who want to do a good job. I'm talking about the union leadership that has dictated what our school policies are across the board. Senator Harkin, you talked about 23 years on the Education Committee, but look at your record. You get an F. We're failing. Iowa's going down and down and down.
Let me try and address it. And a couple things. First of all, I don't think you understand my record well. I've been a proponent not of charters, but of good charters. And I've said there are great charters in this country, there are mediocre charters, and there are poor performing charters. And I opened many, many successful charter schools when I ran the Chicago Public Schools, who did a phenomenal job in very tough communities. I also closed 3 for academic failure. And I think that level of accountability is very important. So if you look at my record, I've always said we need more good schools in this country of every form and fashion. Secondly, it's interesting. Do you know where the charter movement came from? Came from the union. Albert Shanker was the first person. People love to put stuff in boxes and play us versus them. Albert Shanker was almost the godfather of the union movement. He worked very hard. He thought teachers needed more autonomy, thought they needed more independence, a chance to be entrepreneurial. Some of the best charter schools in the country are actually led by union teachers. And so this is not us versus them. Everybody wants to play those games. We just need more good schools in this country. What I always say is that any second grader, they don't know if I go to a charter school or a gifted school or a magnet school, neighborhood school. Does my teacher care about me? Are there high expectations? Am I learning? Am I safe there? And we need more schools like that of every form and fashion. We need less schools where students don't feel cared about, where they're not safe. And we need to continue to be very, very creative. I think we've been clear and sometimes controversial that we just need more great schools of every type in this country. Great charter schools are a piece of the solution. Bad charter schools are a piece of the problem.
And so are things like magnet schools and other things. There's a lot of variety out there that we can experiment with. Not just our magnet schools. We just met one. What was that one up in Waterloo? Carver Elementary up in Waterloo, which is a STEM school, and things like that can work very well.